Good evening. Hi. Good evening. So my name is Brian. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the inaugural APALSA gala. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you together as we gather together here for the inaugural APALSA Alumni Gala. We are so thrilled to have you all here. And before we officially begin our banquet program, we'll be serving dinner. Please enjoy the meal. And we will have the meal for about 30 minutes, and we'll get started with the program. So enjoy your meal. Thank you.
All right, everybody. We're going to get started with the rest of tonight's banquet. Just a preliminary note. Everyone should have gotten a raffle ticket. If you didn't get a raffle ticket, please make your way to the table over there to get one. And so my name is Yuta. I'm the External Vice President of APALSA at Notre Dame. Thank you. Yeah. So I will also be your MC for the evening. I hope you all had a chance to refresh and reconnect. Again, this is our inaugural APALSA Alumni Reunion Weekend. Okay, so to kick off the next portion of our evening, it is a great pleasure to introduce our APALSA President, Brian Kim, to give some opening remarks. Please welcome Brian Kim.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right, welcome everyone to the inaugural Notre Dame APALSA Alumni Gala. It's truly wonderful to see so many familiar faces and also new friends that we just made tonight. And they came to Notre Dame braving the unpredictable South Bend weather. You know, much like cold call, right, in class. We never know when it's coming. Tonight, we are not just here for a gala. We are here to celebrate a legacy built on mutual understanding, fellowship, and the promotion of awareness for Asian, Pacific Islander, and Asian American communities. That's at the heart of APALSA's mission. And while our founding date remains a delightful mystery, we do know that our journey is both rich and meaningful. So recently, I discovered that our journey has deeper roots than I ever realized. Research at the Hasburg Library Archives revealed the remarkable story of Jose Eduardo Diaz-Valdez. Born in the Philippines in 1881, he became the first Asian graduate of Notre Dame Law School in 1906. He was among the first government-funded Filipino students sent to the US under the Pensionado Act of 1903. And his career included serving as part of the Philippine Commission in the US House of Representatives, and he even held the position of Secretary to the Resident Commissioner of the Philippine Islands. But despite his impressive accomplishments, the record of Mr. Valdez's time here in the law school is limited and sparse. It reflects the limited presence of Asian students at Notre Dame for much of its history. And that's exactly why APALSA E-Board this year is committed to not only to build our presence, but also strengthening the ties between current students and alumni who have walked similar paths before us. This inaugural APALSA Alumni Gala is a celebration of that commitment, a promise that all Asian students, regardless of their upbringing and backgrounds, will feel welcome and sense of belonging here at Notre Dame and beyond. In line with our commitment to greater inclusion and recognition, we transitioned from ALSA to APALSA back in 2020, understanding that our mission cannot be confined to just one group. We embrace the diversity of Asian, Pacific Islander, and Asian American communities and identities, and we are committed to ensuring that everyone feels represented and valued within our community. We know that for many Asian students coming here, Notre Dame for the first time, they can feel like stepping into a different world. Many of us come from backgrounds and environments that may be quite different from the culture here. But isn't that what makes our community truly vibrant? It's our diverse experiences that enrich the fabric of Notre Dame Law School. We are dedicated to creating an atmosphere where everyone, every student, no matter their upbringing, feels truly at home. And this gala is not just about fostering a stronger sense of community among students. It's about connecting with our alumni network, which is crucial for us as we step into the future. And this evening serves as a reminder that we have a robust community of alumni who are here to support us and guide us and inspire us to create lasting, positive impacts wherever we go. Building these connections is essential, not just for us now, but for future students who will benefit from the relationship we cultivate tonight. As our esteemed faculty advisor, Professor Lloyd Meyer, who's been guiding us for the past 19 years as the faculty advisor of APALSA, can attest, we've come a long way. From our humble beginnings with end-of-year dinners and football concession stands, we've made remarkable strides. And this year, we've really lived out our mission. We kicked off with a warm welcome dinner for the 1Ls, helping them connect right away. Our mentoring program paired 1Ls with seasoned upperclassmen for invaluable experience and guidance. And we hosted panels on navigating 1L and landing jobs, featuring our own successful alumni. And we even sent members to NAPAVA convention in Seattle this past November to broaden our horizons. And we had a fantastic mixer at Barnes & Thornburg office in South Bend. And we celebrated Mid-Autumn Festival with delicious mooncakes and shared a heartwarming Thanksgiving potluck. And welcome the Lunar New Year with a delightful lunch. And it's been a whirlwind, and I couldn't be prouder. And this incredible year wouldn't have been possible without our amazing exec board. So please join me in recognizing Yuta Inada, our external VP. Oh, where's Tessa? Tessa Hong, she's the internal VP of APALSA. And Tony Moon, the treasurer. And Julie Sun, our amazing social media and merchandise preparer. And there's Tim Wong, secretary, who's in London, and also Haley, who's also in London, who also played a key role in preparing for this evening. And I would also like to recognize our fantastic 1L reps, starting with Oliver too. Oliver. And Daniel Ham. Sandy Yoon. And Grace Yaw. And Nicolina Sorensen. And Jonathan Ng. Where are you, Jonathan? There you go. And a special thank you to our alumni who actually played a key role in planning this event. Dylan Yang, if you can please stand up. And Caroline Capilli, please stand up. And Katie Takuchi. Where are you, Katie? There you are. Okay. And I'd also like to extend our gratitude to our sponsors, Ropes & Gray, Greenberg Traurig, Fragman, Pulu Shadley, and an individual sponsor, Natasha Kwan. Is Natasha here? Natasha, no? There she is. Okay. Without their generous support, tonight would not have been able to happen. So thank you for all your generous support. And this evening is also a chance to recognize outstanding individuals who have made significant contributions to our community. We are excited to present 3 inaugural awards this evening. The first award, the Edward S. Kiel Alumnus of the Year Award, named after Judge Kiel, who's here joining us. He's the first Asian alum appointed as a federal judge in the District of New Jersey. He's here. Round of applause. And the APALSA Faculty of the Year Award will be presented to a faculty member who has demonstrated exceptional dedication and support to APALSA throughout the year. And lastly, the Allison T. Dang Award of Service will be given to a student who embodied the spirit of service and commitment to the Asian community within the law school. So tonight, let's celebrate our shared history and look forward to a bright future. I encourage each one of you to connect with fellow alumni, students, and share your experiences and explore ways to continue supporting APALSA's mission. And let's make tonight not just a celebration, but a stepping stone toward a more inclusive and vibrant future for all. Thank you. Enjoy the gala.
Thank you. I hope everyone is enjoying their desserts. We're going to get started with the awards portion of our evening. So first up to present the Allison T. Dang Award of Service, please welcome one of our esteemed alumni, Caroline Capilli.
Good evening. My name is Caroline Capilli, and I am a proud alumna of the Notre Dame APALSA class of 2022. In addition to the many firsts that we're celebrating this year, I am honored to be able to present the inaugural Allison T. Dang Award of Service. Allison was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, where she graduated from The Ohio State University in 2022. She then chose to begin her law school career at Notre Dame based on its unmatched global reach and the tight-knit community here. At the law school, she was involved in many aspects of student life, including the IP Law Society, LGBT Law Forum, the SBA D&I Council, and serving as the editor-in-chief of the Journal of Emerging Technologies. This award is being presented to her family, who is present today for Allison's selfless and dedicated contributions to the missions of APALSA and the service to the AAPI community at the law school. The Dang family would like to thank everyone for their efforts in planning the event today and honoring Allison. While no words, awards, or honors can truly capture what Allison means to the family, many of us in this room and at the law school know that any opportunity to remember Allison is such a blessing. The Dang family knows that she would be so proud of all who were involved in this weekend. On behalf of APALSA, we thank the Dang family for sharing Allison with our Notre Dame family and present the family with the inaugural Allison T. Dang Award of Service. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline, for those amazing words. Next up, we have the APALSA Faculty of the Year Award. To introduce this award, please welcome our Internal Vice President, Tessa Hong.
Good evening. My name is Tessa Hong, and I am a current 2L and also the Internal Vice President of APALSA this year. I am proud to present this year's APALSA Faculty of the Year Award to Professor Lloyd Hitoshi Meyer in recognition of his 19 years of service as APALSA's faculty member, or faculty advisor. Professor Meyer joined Notre Dame Law School in 2006 and has been APALSA's faculty advisor ever since. He is currently a professor of law with research interests that include various aspects of nonprofit organizations, election law, and taxation law. In addition to teaching courses related to those same subjects, Professor Meyer is also famous in law school for being a fantastic professor of professional responsibility. As one of only 2 full-time faculty members of Asian descent at the law school, Professor Meyer's presence has meant so much to our community, and we are grateful for his support and guidance. Tonight, we recognize his dedication to APALSA and his long-standing role in fostering a community for Asian American law students at Notre Dame. Please join me in congratulating Professor Lloyd Hitoshi Meyer.
Thank you, Tessa. And for our final award of the evening, we have the APALSA Edward S. Kiel Alumnus of the Year Award. To introduce this award, please welcome Dean Cole.
Thank you so much, Yuta, and thank you all for being here. I think that this is an amazing testament to this organization. And even though, despite Brian's best efforts, the past of the history of APALSA and this organization may be a mystery, if you look around this room, you realize that the future is no mystery. This organization is stronger than it's ever been and will continue to grow in strength to be a key and central part of Notre Dame Law School. And I applaud you for what you've built. So. And I think it's critically important that we honor one of the pioneers of this organization, one of the pioneers of this law school, in Judge Edward Kiel. Kiel Son-yo, Edward Kiel, was born in Daegu, South Korea, and immigrated to the United States, is a 1988 graduate of Rutgers University, and received his Juris Doctor in 1991 from Notre Dame Law School. From 1991 to 1992, he served as a law clerk to the presiding criminal judge of the Somerset County Superior Court, and he was an associate, after that, he was an associate with Jamison Moore, Peskin and Spicer in Princeton, New Jersey. And then from 1994 to 1998, he was an associate with Beatty Padovano in Montvale, New Jersey. Then from 1998 to 2001, he was an associate with Cole Schatz in Hackensack, and he later served as a partner with Cole Schatz from 2001 until 2019. From 2019, he served as the United States Magistrate Judge for the United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. On October 4th, 2023, President Joe Biden nominated him to serve as a district judge on the United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. He was confirmed just over a year ago and took his place almost exactly a year ago on the District Court in New Jersey, becoming the first Korean American to sit on the United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. This award will be given every year to a person who exemplifies the integrity and dedication and excellence that Judge Kiel has demonstrated throughout his career. But it is only fitting that the very first award that we give this year goes to Judge Edward Kiel. And I want to note that this plaque will take its place in Bielkini Hall alongside the other highest awards that are given by Notre Dame Law School. And so forever, the Edward Kiel Award will be given at Notre Dame Law School in perpetuity to someone who exemplifies the kind of integrity and dedication to service and to excellence that Judge Kiel has demonstrated throughout his career. So it is my great honor to present the very inaugural Edward Kiel Award to Edward Kiel.
Thank you. I didn't want to mess up, so I prepared some remarks. I think Notre Dame Law School has the coolest dean in the country. And I met him for the first time when Notre Dame had a reception in New York. Tammy Radke was there as well. And I thought the world of Dean Cole. And I read his bio that was in the Notre Dame Lawyer magazine, and I thought, what a wonderful story. A guy who wanted to go to Notre Dame, didn't go to Notre Dame, but ultimately came back to Notre Dame. And I just found out how he met his wife. If you all want to know a great story, ask him about how he met his wife. And I'm deeply, deeply humbled, really, particularly about the size of this plaque that you all have. And I have to really thank my daughter because she touched it up. My hair was not that good in that picture. She paid $10 for an app in order to clean myself up and make my hair good. Also, I haven't been to campus in a long time. Obviously, COVID presented a problem with that. And today I was walking around campus. We wanted to go to the bookstore, and and this morning when I went to the brunch, I saw these kids with these gallon jugs of green liquid. I had never seen that when I was in college, and I came back, and I said, what to my daughter, and she goes, "You've never heard of the Borg?" Borg, is that right? Borg, yeah, that's something new. And I want to go back to when I was walking around campus in the fall semester of 1990. I hadn't been to campus in a year because I had gone to the London program. And we all who came back from the London program thought we were really cool, more sophisticated than anybody else that spent the second year in South Bend. And you're nodding your head, right? The guys who went to London thought they were really cool. And I was walking by the bookstore, and there were some kids selling T-shirts. And I was never a big fan of Notre Dame T-shirts and stuff, but that they said it was so cheap. I think it was less than $10. And I said, what the heck, I'm going to buy it. And that was the shirt. And I think that's still being done these days, right? It's the shirt, and I think that it's in its 35th year. And I still have that shirt. And I keep it in this Ziploc bag to make sure that it stays clean. And I went on eBay, and they're selling for about $500 now. So here's the original shirt. Blue holsters in the back. And it's not that well worn. I only wear it to football games. And I wash it immediately and put it back in that Ziploc bag. And I still have this shirt, and this is just a small connection that I have to the law school that I really love. And that connection started on the very first day of orientation. I think Tammy Radke was there too. And I reconnected with one of my classmates who was on the panel this morning, Mark Watley. It had been 30 years since we've been together, that I had seen him. But both of us talked about that first day of orientation. Dean David Link was the law school dean at the time. And he's a giant, an incredible person. And he brought everybody together in the big auditorium, and he said a couple things, and both Mark and I remembered it. And one of the things he said was, those Harvard and Yale lawyers, they're Cadillacs. Notre Dame lawyers were Ferraris. Remember? She's nodding her head. And the second thing that he said was, we're going to educate you to be a different kind of lawyer. And that's a phrase that he has coined and is still to this day being used. When I get law school applications or law clerk applications from Notre Dame, they come in a nice folder that says a different kind of lawyer. And Dean Link meant it. He wanted to educate compassionate, public serving, and lawyers who sought justice. And many of you know that after he retired, he went on to seminary. He became ordained in 2012, as I recall, and I read the whole magazine that came out recently about him. And in his final years, he ministered to the prison population in Indiana. And what an incredible testament to this law school and what this law school is really about. Service, dignity, and compassion. And Dean Link taught our first-year ethics class. And the first two classes, did you remember this? And in the first two classes, he showed us the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know, do you guys still do that? Yeah, he showed us the movie To Kill a Mockingbird, and we talked a lot about it. And it's the first time that I had known about the book. I had certainly known about it or read about it, but the first time that I'd seen the movie, and the first time that I had known about Atticus Finch and Scout and Tom Robinson and Boo Radley. And the lessons of Atticus Finch's representation of Tom Robinson, a black man in Alabama accused of raping a white woman, is just as important today. The zealous representation of those who are marginalized, unpopular, fighting against powerful institutions and people is needed more than ever. And I see it every day in my courtroom. Our Constitution and our federal judges are under constant attack. Federal judges are called leftist radicals, un-American, kooky, unhinged. And there's been threats of violence, including to Amy Coney Barrett's sister recently. Even family members such as that. Federal judges rarely speak out in public. We're told not to say anything. But there's been a bit of a groundswell with federal judges and the Federal Judges Association and a directive from the Administrative Office of the Court that judges don't have to stay silent, that we can speak out. So this is my little bit of speaking out in front of you. So you, as a different kind of lawyer, have an important role in making sure that our institutions adhere to the Constitution and the rule of law. It can be scary to represent marginalized people against powerful institutions and people, but I tell you, that is what a different lawyer does. And I want to leave you with this. At our last Board of Judges meeting, where all the judges in the district get together, all 17 of us, a federal judge who's been a judge there for nearly 30 years said she wanted to read something to all the judges who were present. And it was a poem by Martin Niemöller, and some of you may know it, who was initially a sympathizer of the Nazis. And he later on became an outspoken critic of Hitler. And I'm sure that some of you have heard it. His words are featured as the final presentation in the National Holocaust Museum. And this is what the poem is. First they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I am not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. So I hope those words mean something to you. This is an incredible honor. My wife is proud of me. My daughter's proud of me. And I hope that you as an organization, continue this tradition. I need a lot of names up there to be filled up. And please do invite me back. I would love to come back for the next events. Thank you very much for this great honor.
Thank you, Judge Kiel, for those supportive words in these difficult times. Next up, we have the Fireside Chat with Judge Kiel, moderated by one of our very own alumni, Dylan Yang.
You guys hear me? Great,
Okay.
well, perfect. Before we start learning more about the life of Judge Kiel, I wanted to say that I know we just met this weekend, but I speak on behalf of myself and many in this room that you've inspired a lot of us. I know representation is hugely important. It's been great to see a lot of our Asian American community achieve at the highest levels. But it's very different to see not only you as part of our Asian American community, but also a graduate of our law school. I think that means so much to me. It means so much to our community. And I think it puts a little seed in many of our minds that, you know, maybe I can achieve, or I can get that internship that I didn't think I could get, or I can go for that promotion. So if it hasn't been reiterated, we thank you for trailblazing in this way, and we look forward to honoring you further and learning more about you tonight.
Okay.
So thank you so much. Okay, so first question. As we've heard, you graduated in 1991. You were not always a judge. At one point, you were a student here.
Yeah.
So we would like to hear a little bit about what student Judge Kiel was like, what your favorite class was, what kind of student you were, maybe your favorite restaurant back then, your favorite professor. So we just want to hear a day in the life of Judge Kiel
A day in the life,
in 1991.
Yeah, so I showed up on campus in 1988. Yeah, which I guess is 30-some odd years ago. I came from New Jersey and really spent all of my life in New Jersey. Never had been out here, and it was a bit of a shock, obviously. But the shock wore off because the law school was so welcoming. Our class had about 165 students, and back then there was a movie called The Paper Chase. Did anybody see The Paper Chase? And everybody was scared that law school was going to be all about hyper competition and all of that. And I never found that in our class. We were all very helpful with each other. And I came from a school with a terrible football program. I graduated from Rutgers with an engineering degree. And that year we won the national championship. In 19 with Lou Holtz. But yeah, it was a great place to come to school. But one of the things that I didn't like about it is it snowed every day during the winter. And back where behind the stadium was a huge parking lot. They had no on-campus dormitories or apartments for students, so we all had to drive in, take that long, cold walk from the parking lot, and come to school. I loved torts with Professor Rice, if anybody remembers Professor Rice, and contracts with Professor Murphy. Coming to law school with an engineering background, it's a totally different kind of test. But they were the types of professors who made class very interesting. Professor Murphy wrote the book on contracts, right? Did you guys still use his book? I don't know. And I really enjoyed that. And it was such a big group of people from different places.
Yeah.
I was used to going to a state school where everybody was from New Jersey. But to hear, meet people from Arizona and Utah and all this stuff, that was pretty cool.
Great.
As well, yeah.
So you told me a little bit at dinner. There was not yet an APALSA during your time. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Or I believe you told me there was only a couple of you and how you guys banded together or interacted, or were there other organizations that you were a part of?
Yeah, so there were 3 of us who were U.S. Asian students, and they all happened to be Korean. Bill Cho, Jeff O, and me. We also had 2 Chinese foreign students as well. And there was no APALA or APALSA or, there was none of that. And the only thing that we ever did was get together and try to make a Korean meal, go down to the local Korean supermarket down in South Bend and buy some stuff. I did go on some Korean Student Association events, which was run by the undergrads. And I believe at the time, the entire school had about 20 Koreans or so. I suspect it's more now. I suspect it's more. So there was none of that kind of organization for us back then.
Great.
Yeah.
We're going to fast forward a little bit. So in 2023, October 4th, you were nominated by President Biden, and I believe on March 20th of 2024, you were confirmed. I think a lot of us would be curious to hear what that process kind of looks like. Did Biden call you? What was it like to prepare for the onslaught of senators coming your way? So we'd love to hear a little bit of the insight into that process.
Well, my wife was just talking to somebody over there, and she said it was terrible. Let me just preface it by saying that these types of organizations were so important in my professional development. And how I got to being a district judge and getting that nomination was because I was at a APALSA event, which is the Asian bar in New Jersey. And somebody said to me, oh, have you met, now her name skips my mind, but have you met so-and-so? She works at Senator Booker's office, Senator Cory Booker. So I started just talking to her, and she said, oh, you're a magistrate judge? Oh, why don't we get together for coffee one day? And so I said, okay, great. I sent her an email. And she said, can you send me my resume? And that was the impetus that got me the nomination from the president by getting to know this staff member from Cory Booker's office. So the way the process works, I'm sure some of you know, is that the senators, the hometown senators recommend you to the White House counsel's office. The White House vets you. They give you an interview, and they decide whether they're going to nominate you. And then you hear that the president is going to nominate you, and you're like, me? Yeah, and the process has obviously gotten crazy partisan. The questions that I was asked by the Senate Judiciary Committee members were not about the law, but about politics. And then the process is crazy. Because of the way that it's become, there's a very long vetting process through the White House counsel's office. It goes on for months at a time, and then we have practice sessions where they ask you questions. Because Senator Kennedy likes to ask you law school questions, we have to know every single amendment to the Constitution. all 27, I think 27 still, all 27 amendments to the Constitution, and then you go and see what they ask you. The first question that Senator Hawley, who's a Republican, asked me was what I thought about Hamas.
Wow.
Yeah, and because it's so partisan, I don't have much controversy in my background. My Senate vote was 50 to 49. So I just barely made it. 50, 49, and they're all 50 to 49 now. Yeah.
While you mentioned that process has been pretty partisan, I want to note one thing that Senator Booker said that I thought I wanted to bring up. That you happen to sit in the same courthouse where your parents were naturalized in, as U.S. citizens. So I'd like to hear your perspective on the significance of that to you. But yes, I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, and I'm sure many people here have that immigrant story where your parents immigrated to the United States, came here with nothing, and became successful, and their and their children became even more successful. I'm sure everybody, or so many people here, have a story like that. My parents were refugees from the Korean War, and they came down to South Korea, down to a place called Daegu. And my father was sent to the United States to study at Princeton Seminary by missionaries. And we actually lived with missionaries until we came to the United States. And my father started one of the oldest Korean churches in New Jersey. And he became a United States citizen in 1978, I believe. He was a very proud American. And I was being sworn in as a magistrate judge first. And we had a very informal session. And my brother was old enough to be naturalized himself. I was not old enough, so I became naturalized through my parents. And in this very informal ceremony, my brother said, hey, this is where we got naturalized. And I had not known that. And he said, I remember this ornate courtroom, and there were senators here. I forget which senator. And so to, you know, to be in the courtroom, in the courthouse, and being sworn in as a magistrate judge, a federal judge, while my parents were there in the same building where they had been become naturalized citizens. Hey, it's the American dream, right?
It is.
It really is an American dream. Yeah.
Great. So if many of you guys don't know, Judge Kiel was a magistrate judge for about 5 years, and we talked about that briefly, how that process can actually be quite tougher, potentially, than becoming a district judge, because you need to be selected among the district judges in that circuit,
right,
or in that district. So you've been a magistrate judge for about 5 years, and now a district judge, and many attorneys have come in front of you. So I think we'd love to hear some of the great traits that you've seen of attorneys that have come in front of you, and anything that you think we should take away from those sort of traits.
Well, always be prepared. There's good lawyering that I see in the papers, because we see a lot of paper. And I think Notre Dame, my legal writing class, I still look back upon that as write as simply as possible, as directly as possible. Don't attack your other side. You know, when a question is asked, answer the question. Oftentimes people like to dance around it because they don't like their answer they're going to say. But I see like really effective lawyers who are good oral advocates. Just answer the question, direct, and they know their papers and their cases inside and out. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. So there was it's called the AAPI Portrait Project. So it was kind of like a research study done on Asian Americans within the law, and that project showed that, especially at the highest levels of the profession, as like professors and partners and judges, Asian Americans are definitely below what they should be in comparison to the U.S. So I would love to hear some, while acknowledging that Biden did a great job and he nominated so many Asian American judges, I'd like to hear, obviously, word from you, a trailblazer yourself, to the many Asian American attorneys in this room, about how you kind of did that and how you kind of rose above and kept going.
I worked really hard. When I became an associate at one of the largest law firms, and I was recently married to my wife, or very soon thereafter, I think Nancy, who was my wife, and my children saw how hard we all worked. I thought the panel this morning was really incredible and really inspirational about being your own voice. You have to self-promote yourself. One of the comments that I heard from one of the from the panelists is like, we Asians aren't used to self-promotion. And especially in the Korean society. I grew up in a Korean society where if somebody said, you did a really good job, Koreans are like, oh no, that's just part of my, that's just part of what we do. But I worked at a firm where people were aggressive, entrepreneurial, really stood out and said if somebody said, hey, that was a great brief that you did, they'd be like, I worked all night on it, I found this great case, right? And they self-promote themselves. And I think we as Asians, particularly Koreans, we have to try to get out of that. There has been an incredible amount of new judges, new diverse judges, because of President Biden. One of my best friends, his name is Zahad Qureshi. He was the first Article III Muslim judge in the United States in 2020. All right, think about that. Like how the sacrifices that he had to go through and all of the things to get to be the first Muslim judge in the United States, Article III judge in 2020. All right, and so that's just an example of just how you have to be dedicated to your craft and always get out there, meet people, go to the organizations like this. All these people that you're gonna meet here and become friends with are gonna be important in your life in the future, especially guys like you.
While I would love to ask you more questions, we are under a little bit of a
Yeah,
time
sure.
constraint. But I have one for the many APALSA law students in this room. What do you look for in a law clerk?
What do I look for in a law clerk? I've gotten a number of applications from Notre Dame Law School. One of the things that I look for is, why do you want to be in New Jersey? I don't do Oscar anymore. When I first got on, does everybody know about Oscar? Yes. Yeah, so when I first got on, I was on Oscar, and I was getting hundreds of applications from Iowa and, you know, everywhere. And so I stopped being on it because I want someone who's interested in coming into New Jersey, not just being a law clerk for a federal judge.
Yeah.
And all the people that I apply, they're fantastic students. People, you're here at Notre Dame because you're really smart people. But the second most important thing that I look for, other than grades and, you know, why you want to be in New Jersey, is what I call the lunch test. Can you pass the lunch test? Can you hold the conversation? So when I have an interview, all of my law clerks are there as well, and my courtroom deputy. And can you hold the conversation with everybody? Tell us something interesting about yourself. Judge Greenaway, who was on the Third Circuit, had a thing, which I don't do. He would say, "Tell us a story."
Just
Tell us a story. Well, what a terrible question to ask someone who's trying to get a job from you. Yeah, so those are the traits that I look for, because we have to have somebody who fits into our culture.
Yeah.
Because there's so few of us and we work so closely together.
Yeah.
If they don't fit within our culture of like service and working hard and being fun at times, you know, it's not going to work out.
understood. So to summarize, no more Oscar paper applications only, and try to have some New Jersey tie.
Yeah,
But that's all the questions I have, and thank you again.
Thank you very much.
For
Thank
bringing
you.
us, for coming to Notre Dame and chatting with us today.
Thank you, Judge Kiel and Dylan, for that thoughtful and engaging discussion. Next up, it's time to announce our raffle winners. To announce the raffle winners, please welcome our treasurer, Tony Moon.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Mr. Inada. I hope everyone has been having a fantastic night, and I'm going to be announcing the raffle APALSA merch winner. So if I announce your number, please keep onto your raffle ticket, and as you head out, please stop by the merch table and let me or our event coordinator, Julie Sun, know which piece of APALSA merch you want. A lot of suspense involved in this. Okay. So our first winner is number 22733-818. Okay. Yeah. Congratulations. All right. Second winner, 22733-810. Oh, let's go. Okay. All right. Our final winner is 22733-806. Oh, that's us. Congratulations to all the winners, and as you leave, please let me or Julie know.
All right, congratulations to all our raffle winners, me included. All right, now we'd like to take a moment to hear from one of our valued gold sponsors. Please welcome Ms. Amy Hong, our representative from Greenbrick Shawrig.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Amy Hong. I Graduated from Notre Dame Law School in 2022. I'm currently an associate at Greenberg-Traurig, and I served as president of APALSA when I was a student here. Thank you. And as this is the inaugural APALSA gala, it's really exciting to be here and be part of the first event, and hopefully a lot of us will come back in the future. It's been a really wonderful weekend. I feel like a lot of the conversations I've had with everyone here and at the Fireside chat and the discussion earlier today talked a lot about community, and I feel like this weekend and this event is such a testament to the feeling of community and making community. And I know for me, I definitely found my community in APALSA when I was a student here. All of my closest friends were from APALSA, and I leaned on them a lot during law school, and even after law school, when we were starting our legal careers together and navigating firm life together, we leaned on each other a lot. And like even beyond just like a professional context, they've become some of my closest friends in life. I've gone to 2 of their weddings. We've gone on vacations together. And I was really nervous about starting as an associate because I was nervous not to have this community at my law firm. But Greenberg actually has a very similar kind of affinity group structure within the firm, and connects the affinity groups with each other from all the different offices throughout the United States and across the world. And we'll meet quarterly, just check in with each other, catch up outside of just working with each other, and that's really nice. See what we're doing for Lunar New Year, how we're celebrating API Heritage Month, kind of exchange ideas, and that's been really invaluable to me. And I actually met Natasha this evening, who worked at GT before, and a lot of the same people we know are through our affinity group at the firm. And so I know when I shared that APALSA was doing this event here in Notre Dame, GT was really excited. And so on behalf of the firm, congratulations to APALSA for the inaugural gala, and thank you so much for letting us be a small part of it.
Thank you, Ms. Hong. Next, we have a special message from one of our alumni, Ms. Katie Takeuchi.
I'll be quick. A lot of you heard from me this morning, maybe too much. But my name is Katie. I graduated from Notre Dame Law School in 2020. I was part of what was then ALSA, so dating myself a little bit. Now I work at Notre Dame Law School, which is great. And I just want to say thank you so much to Brian and the APALSA e-board. You all put so much work into this, and it's been so great, especially being here at the law school with you this year as you put this together. And I would encourage all of the alumni, all the APALSA alumni, to stay engaged. This is a really great group of students, and we should be doing everything we can to continue lifting them up. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie, for those kind words of support. And just like that, we are nearing the end of our evening. To close out this banquet, please welcome back our president, Mr. Brian Kim.
Wow, what a truly, truly, truly amazing night we had. Don't you guys agree? Yes. All right. I really hope you all had a wonderful time, just like I did. And we hope to continue this tradition from now on, and we are going to make it happen. And I know our future 1L reps who are going to be who are going to be taking the leadership role next year will continue this tradition, and we'll be giving them the support that we receive from all the alumni next year. And as you as you guys leave, there will be merch at the table by the door. Julie will be selling some of the merchandise that she designed. They're wonderful. Thank you, brother. So if you would like to grab one of our sweatshirts, t-shirts, please look through those merches and make the purchases as you wish. Thank you all for coming again, and we hope to see you guys again next year. Have a good night and have a safe trip back. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Max Gaston. I'm the Director of Dignity, Solidarity, and Subsidiarity, formerly the DEI Director. I want to thank you all for participating in this weekend. It's the first time that APALSA has done this, and to have a room this packed on the first time, and not even just this event, but every single event that's happened has been completely just running seamlessly. So much great attendance, substantively so strong. I do want to say a quick thank you to Brian and to his team for helping to make all of this possible, because they're the ones who really brought this together, along with the alumni, Caroline, Dylan, who are helping them. So if we can give them a round of applause. And for those non-students in the room, I would be remiss if I didn't say that if you picked up one of our reunion weekend brochures, at the very back page we have a QR code where you can donate to APALSA and support those students financially. One of the major reasons why we ask for this is because a lot of these students are interested in going into unpaid public interest internships this summer, and so they do that through the support of the funding that APALSA provides. And right now we're trying to raise those funds to send more students to go. I think last year we were able to send maybe a handful of students, about 5 or so, through the funding to do their internships. We can obviously do more than that, because look at the room and look at how many APALSA students that we have. So if you'd like to support APALSA in that way and you feel so moved, we would welcome you to do so. Thank you very much.